No one knows what to expect from Illinois in 2022. The Fighting Illini have the talent to make a bowl game, but could easily fall way short of one. Today we're going to try to predict all of these unknowns and figure out where the Fighting Illini might end up by the end of the season. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys, ready to predict and analyze and break down Illinois' schedule and record for this upcoming college football season. One that, again, is quite the anomaly for the Fighting Illini. We don't know what to expect. This is a team that last year went 5-7 with 4 one-possession losses, a team that actually outscored their opponents in Big Ten conference play. But when you look at the talent and you look at the schedule, you say, hey, maybe there are a couple games they could win to get to 6 wins, but also it could be a rough year. It could go either way. We're going to do our best to predict it. When you take a look at the numbers, guys, brought to you by College Football Encyclopedia, Illinois returns 51% of their production, which is not good. Only 115th in the nation, guys. And offensively, that's where they need to improve. They were 112th nationally on offense, and Brett Bielema recognized this and went out and got Tommy DeVito, the transfer quarterback from Syracuse. Had a pretty solid career at Syracuse, and he's hoping that's going to give this offense a big-time boost. Because last year, Illinois had the 122nd ranked passing attack in the country, and you're not going to win games when you can't throw. Bielema, of course, wants to run. He has a solid running back in Chase Brown, has a solid offensive line for him, but they need to add that extra dimension to their offense, and they're hoping DeVito can do that. Defensively, Illinois wasn't bad. 46th in the nation last year. Only allowed 21.9 points per game. Pretty solid up front, relatively solid in the secondary. It's the linebacking core that's going to be the major area of concern for Bielema and this defense, guys. And if they can't shape that up, they're not going to be able to win against the hard-nosed and run-heavy Big Ten teams. You take a look at the schedule, guys. It is a tough one. Illinois does open up, though, we believe, with a win over Wyoming in Week 0. That's going to be a good opportunity for Tommy DeVito to get his feet wet and the offense to figure out some issues, the linebacking core to figure out some issues, and just get a quick, easy victory, in theory. They then take on Indiana, and that's really, for me, a toss-up. 2 teams in the Big Ten that aren't going to be that great this year. 2 teams in the Big Ten that have a lot of questions coming in from last year. Indiana dealing with a bunch of transfers, transfer quarterback, transfer running back, receivers, tons on defense, and then obviously Illinois dealing with theirs as well. The game, though, is in Bloomington, so they have home field advantage. I believe their transfers are actually going to be better than what Illinois even has on their roster. Connor Bazelak and Sean Shivers coming in at quarterback and running back from the SEC for Indiana. And let's keep in mind that the Hoosiers do have a pretty strong secondary. They're going to have a pretty strong secondary. So if Illinois tries to air it out, I don't think they're going to have much success. I think Tom Allen and this defense are going to know, hey, if we can shut down the run, we're going to be okay. And I think that's exactly what they do, especially with home field advantage. The Fighting Illini dropped their first game of the year in conference play, and we also believe they fall to Virginia, a team they lost to 42-14 last year. And yes, they get to host this game, but Virginia and that passing attack led by Brennan Armstrong, they're not going to lose to Illinois. I just don't see it happening at all. That offense is way too good, and they will exploit this Illinois defense. So, Fighting Illini are 1-2 going into their bye week. We do think they take down Chattanooga. Not an easy team at all out of the FCS, but we believe the Fighting Illini should be able to get past them. So 2-2 heading into the bulk of conference play. And it just gets tough. It just gets brutal from there. They go on the road to Wisconsin. They got shut out by the Badgers last year, 24-0. You have the 112th ranked offense in the country in Illinois going up against what was last year the top ranked defense in the country. That doesn't bode well there. Illinois hasn't improved that much. Wisconsin's probably stayed about the same. The game's in Madison. Give me the win for Wisconsin. They don't shut them out, but they win easily. Illinois comes back home to take on Iowa. They only fell to the Hawkeyes by 10 last year, 33-23. And I'd say it's going to be about the same margin here. Because here's the thing. Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan State, those are winnable games for Illinois. We haven't predicted all of them yet, but those are winnable games. Iowa especially, because the Hawkeyes don't have an offense. They don't have much of an offense. Illinois' defense isn't horrible, so they're going to clash and do pretty well there. But it's a matter of Illinois' offense not being bad or being pretty bad, and Iowa's defense being really good. So which one can just get a lucky break? Which one can force some turnover, set up solid field position? Which one's going to get a defensive or special teams touchdown? What's going to happen? And ultimately, Iowa, from a coaching standpoint and from an experience standpoint, owns that edge over Illinois. The only area that I don't think they own the edge is home field advantage, and Iowa can overcome that. So Illinois drops that game and stays at home to take on Minnesota, a team they beat last year, 14-6. 14-6. Credit Illinois' defense for that game, but also credit how bad Minnesota's offense was last year. Golden Gophers just could not get anything going. And yes, they lost Muhammad Ibrahim early. Tanner Morgan has not really been himself since 2019. They're hoping that's going to change by bringing in Kirk Chiraka back in as offensive coordinator. I don't think that's going to make a difference when they play Illinois on the 15th. I think the Fighting Illini get their second straight win over the Golden Gophers. And they can win last year on the road, they can win now at home. Because I do believe Illinois is going to improve statistically. It's just whether or not you're going to see that in the win column or competitiveness column. But statistically, they will. And I think they're going to be able to put up just enough points on this Minnesota defense. It has a few questions, was great last year, third in the nation, but has a few questions. And I just don't think the Minnesota offense is ready to take off yet. Illinois, in a minor upset, pulls off the win over Minnesota for their third victory. So they're 3-4 heading into their second bye week, because of course they get 2 for playing in week 0. The rest of the schedule, guys, is tough again. They go on the road to Nebraska. Last year they beat Nebraska 30-22 in Champaign in the season opener, week 0 actually. But Nebraska, guys, completely different team. Scott Frost knows he has to win, and another loss to Illinois probably isn't going to fly. He needs to win this game. Casey Thompson is in, Mark Whipple is in. The defense is, to me, severely underrated. The game is in Lincoln. Nebraska wants revenge. All signs, to me, point towards a Nebraska victory. Illinois drops that game. They then take on Michigan State. Again, this is a game where if Tommy DeVito or Artur Sitkowski, whoever's named quarterback, we believe it'll be DeVito, can exploit the Michigan State secondary, this could be a close game. But I don't have faith in the offense to exploit the secondary. I don't have faith in the run game to exploit this Michigan State defense, which was pretty solid against the run last year. Yes, they get to host the Spartans, but let's keep in mind this was a team that won 11 games last year and has the chance to be even better now. That might not reflect in the record because of how tough it is, how tough the schedule is, but the talent is there. I just don't think Michigan State drops this game. And the same can be said for Purdue, who, yes, only beat Illinois 13-9 last year, so a 4-point victory, but a Purdue team that has their sights set on winning the Big Ten West, has the second best quarterback in the conference in Aiden O'Connell, and a defense that is severely, once again, underrated, very similar to that of Nebraska. Yes, you look at Illinois and how close they were to beating some of these teams, whether they were at home or on the road. Now they get some of these games at home that are winnable, toss-up games, some would say. I just don't think from the veteran leadership experience standpoint, they're going to have enough to take down some of these teams. Just like Michigan State, just like Purdue, just like Iowa. So they fall to Purdue. They definitely fall to Michigan. Not on the road, guys. Not on senior night for Michigan in Ann Arbor, big house. The defense that Michigan's once again going to have, and the improved offense that Michigan will have. A top 25 unit last year has a chance to be even better. Illinois, to me, just doesn't have a shot to win that game on the road. And then they go on the road to take on Northwestern in a game that probably isn't going to matter for either team. Northwestern probably not going to be that good. Illinois not going to be that good. Clearly well out of the bowl picture here. Obviously, at this point, you're playing for pride in the rivalry game. Last year, Illinois won 47-14. But right now, I'm going to give the edge to Northwestern with Pat Fitzgerald as their head coach. Obviously, a guy that you never want to count out. Northwestern having home field advantage, that does count for something. Again, these teams aren't playing for anything other than pride and just trying to redeem themselves, finish the year on a high. I have more faith right now in Northwestern, especially on their defense, which should improve a little bit. It was horrible last year, should improve to get the win over Illinois. The game will be much closer than 47-14, but I'm just going to have to lean Northwestern's way here. With that, guys, Illinois will go 3-9. 3-9. Again, there are some toss-up games. Maybe they can beat Iowa. Maybe they can beat Michigan State or Purdue because the talent to me is there. They're building something in Champaign, but the schedule is so tough. There are a couple of gaping holes on both the offensive and defensive sides that Bielema has yet to fill. Again, guys, it's only his second year. So while many thought this could be the year they break through and go to a bowl after falling just short last year, I think they take a bit of a step back and maybe can take that leap forward next year in year 3. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Make sure to check those out and sign up for those today. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.